BlogTalkRadio, the world's largest online radio network.
Hey everybody, good evening. Welcome to another edition of Greg Reifsteck Movie Maniac here on the Greg Reifsteck Radio Network. Thanks for sharing your Sunday evening with me. I'm here live from Hollywood, California. And we have a wonderful show for you this evening that you will not forget after you listen to it. We are doing a street dance movie-themed show. That's right, all the popping and locking and breaking and making it that you can tolerate. That's right. So hopefully we'll have a lot of fun. We are definitely going to have a great time because in the Greg Reifsteck Movie Maniac Internet Airwaves, we are going to have on the phone the one, the only legendary choreographer, street dancer, and director, Adolfo Shabba-Doo Quinones. That's right. He's a forefather of street dancing, and I can't wait to talk to him. I've had a short conversation with him on the phone, and I love what he's all about. You'll probably remember him, of course, from the BREAKIN movies back in the 80s, as well as his work with Madonna and lots of other performers that he has done choreographer for. He's directed films. He's choreographed music videos. He has done it all. Now he always has taken his knowledge and passed it on to people of his generation and people of next generations. He has this street dance teacher program, and he teaches dancers to be street dance teachers all around the world. Then, after that, we are going to have the director, the producer, and some of the stars of the new street dance / martial arts spectacular. That's right. We're going to learn about Defy, dance fighting. The new movie is called Battle B-Boy, and it is already out and available on iTunes. You can look at the trailer there, and we'll learn more about that later. Shabba-Doo is going to sit in and critique the film right live for you, so that should be fun. That should be exciting. If you're listening online, feel free to join us in the chat room, or you can call in and talk about your movie experiences at 646-716-7132. Again, that's 646-716-7132. If you can't listen to us streaming online, here at Blog Talk Radio, you can also call us at that number, and you can listen over the phone line and enjoy the whole 2 hours of business that way. You can also tweet me during the show at Movie Maniac Greg, and you can like me on Facebook by just typing in Greg Reifsteck Movie Maniac. I'm the only Greg Reifsteck Movie Maniac on there. Or you can type it in the browser, facebook.com/Greg Reifsteck Movie Maniac. So, again, thank you for tuning in. I've been waiting to do this show for about a month now, and I'm really excited because I have always been a big fan of these movies all the way from way back when. So, without any chit-chat or further ado, let's get on to our first segment. This day in Movie Maniac History. Yeah, I got my brand new little theme going and everything. Every week we explore one day in me, Greg Reifsteck Movie Maniac's film history that affected me greatly. And this week I want to take you back to a time. I want you to, let's go in the Wayback Machine, if you will, with Peabody and Sherman and everybody. Long before Fandango, long before you even walked up to a box office and bought a movie ticket, with a computerized movie system, you used to have to actually wait in line, people. You used to actually have to show up, wait in line. And when I was young in inner city Chicago, all we would do is hop on the CTA bus and get there. And with a movie like this, we would get there about 45 minutes hour early, because there'd be a line down the block. This is back when stuff was first come, first served. That was it. So if they didn't have enough seats in the theater, you were just stuck waiting in line until the next show. So back in 1984, we remember the breakdance craze. You'd be watching TV, and all of a sudden you'd see, the Alfonso Ribeiro breakdance kit. Remember Alfonso Ribeiro back when he was doing? Everybody had their breakdance kit. All the celebrities were trying to do breakdancing, and they were trying to steal all the thunder away from the street culture, trying to popularize it, and everybody was. It was good though, but everybody was taking their street corner and putting on their cardboard, and everybody was, I had my Smurf blue parachute pants. I was trying to get into it. I had my cap, my checkered cap. I had my Vans checkered shoes that I had, from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I see. I was a trendsetter. I gotta get this off my chest. But I'm gonna take a little segue here. I used to, not a segue actually. We're gonna go off the beaten path, and I was one of the first people at my school, Alessandro Volta Grammar School, the most boring grammar school in Chicago, and I used to watch music videos, and I saw this early music video for Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and I saw Spicoli wearing the Vans black and white checkered shoes, and I said, hey, I got to have me a pair of those. So I'm wearing them, and I'm all comfortable. I got laughed at every damn chance somebody could laugh at me. But, of course, 6 months later, after the movie comes out, everybody had those, and I'd moved on to my Miami Vice look, so that's just the way it goes. But I digress. The year was 1984. I had my checkered cap with my tail, my little chic, tail on the back of it. I had my Smurf blue parachute pants and all. I could dance, but I couldn't street dance. That's for damn sure. I mean, maybe I could moonwalk and maybe attempt a pop or I probably couldn't. But I was into watching people, and I loved having people take their bodies to other places where it's why I watch the X Games now. I like seeing people take their bodies to other places and just defy gravity and defy all logical, physical, what the physical body's supposed to do, and take it beyond its limits. So I'm at the Lincoln Village Theater in Lincolnwood, Illinois, and I'm in the line waiting to go see BREAKIN 1. It was May 4th, 1984. Waited for 45 minutes. Got there 45 minutes early. We get to the front of the line, and 3 people from the front of the line, we were told it was sold out. So we had to wait for the entire showing of the movie. We went over to a hot dog joint, sent somebody over there. We're sitting there eating our hot dogs. We're waiting in line. It's hotter than hell. I remember, usually it's okay in Chicago in May, but it was hotter than hell. But I remember we said we need to see this movie the first day. We need to see this Friday afternoon. We were seeing it the second show. We wanted to see it the first show, but we were stuck seeing it the second show. So I finally saw BREAKIN and fell in love with all the characters, Shabba-Doo, Turbo, Lucinda Dickey, everybody in this movie. I remember it really having it had a profound effect on me, because growing up in the city, everybody, it's the whole hopes and dreams and all of that, cheesy malarkey that they put into the movies. But I mean, you do have to have hopes and dreams. And this was our fun way of escapism and really getting into it and really enjoying this, what a lot of people thought was a fad, but of course has, expanded and been taken to new limits, and just has become this incredible art form, this incredible dance form. So that was my day in Movie Maniac history. Basically, I'm going to now go into my top 5 dance movies of all time, and let's start at number 5, because I think we already know what number 1 is going to be. Hint, hint, hint. But I know a lot of people, if you want to call in, if you want to Facebook me, if you want to tweet me and tell me I'm wrong, That's great, because none of these are the right answers. These are my personal top 5 favorite street dance movies. So let's get to it. Drum roll in your head for number 5. You Got Served. Yes, I know. If you look on Rotten Tomatoes, this thing has some horrible ratings, but it made money. And I think it's a really fun dance movie. It's of the Los Angeles style. It centers around 2 best friends, Elgin and David. They're brothers. Well, they're not brothers, but, they're street brothers. And they are friends, and they had a crew of urban street dancers, and basically they enter these underground dance competitions that are refereed by Mr. Rad, played by Steve Harvey. And I just think it's a fun movie. And of course, You Got Served ended up becoming, they made fun of this movie on a South Park episode. The term became part of the popular vernacular. It already was a part of the street dance vernacular, but it had become part of the popular vernacular. So when something crosses over like that, that's, I did not go see the movie the first weekend. I didn't even see this movie at the theater. In fact, I saw it on video and really enjoy watching it every single time it comes on late night cable. And actually, I might as well say I'm going to start doing a spin-off show of this show, probably called Late Night Cable, on my comedy podcast that I'm going to be starting, Boredom Breeds Stupidity. But I'll talk about that more in a little bit. But yeah, love You Got Served. That's number 5. Let's move on to number 4. We have a tie, and it's because I love the movie Step Up. Yes, I know, it is a total guilty pleasure of mine. I think it's a fun film, and I like Step Up too. And the reason I have them as a tie is these 2 movies are they have the same plot. They essentially both rip off the first one rips off the movie Fame. You have, the whole School of the Arts plot going on, the lovers from both sides of the tracks. She's from the rich side of the tracks, and he's just a janitor, and he's gonna, he starts as a janitor, and then she needs somebody to dance with, and her dancer gets hurt, and oh no, and of course she has a dance competition that she needs to be in, and she needs somebody right away, and she sees his strong arms, and blah 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 blah. And I mean, the chemistry between Channing Tatum and Jenna Dewan I think it's really fun. I think it's great. They have a really nice chemistry. They are married in real life. Their boyfriend and girlfriend, I believe they got married in real life. Anne Fletcher directed this before she did The Proposal, and she is way into dancing herself, and it was very gave the character some depth, a lot more depth than most of the characters usually have in these movies. And Step Up 2 is it's the same plot recycled again, just like all the Step Up movies are, which is why 3 and 4 are definitely not on this, because they just they keep watering it down. But Step Up 2 was fun. John M. Chu was a fantastic director on here. He really immersed himself into the street dance culture, the modern street dance culture. He really the dance crews he got for the movie are incredible. I mean, this movie, the Jabberwockies were already on the map, but because of the Step Up movies, that got them a show in Vegas. And if you haven't seen that show in Vegas, I highly recommend it. It is a fantastic, fantastic show. But I digress. But Step Up 2 is just, takes it to the next level. The dance battles are incredible. You go on the whole journey of the street dance battles and that whole culture. So tied at number 4 is Step Up and Step Up 2. Number 3 is another guilty pleasure of mine. I'm using that term a lot this episode, and it's Beat Street. Yeah, I know. It's a cheesy movie. But, I mean, it's New York style breakdancing, not LA. It's very much into the street culture, very much into the graffiti culture. I like the plot. I'm one of those people that I like chicken sandwiches, and I like turkey burgers. And I'll eat the same chicken sandwich and turkey burgers over and over again with different fixings on them, as long as it's a damn good chicken burger, damn good turkey burger. You know what I mean? And Beat Street is another chicken sandwich of street dance film, and it plays on all the same inner city. Coming from the inner city myself, growing up on a north side of Chicago, has all of the themes I could relate to, all the, your hopes and dreams. You have the guy that's the musician that's trying to make it in music. You have the guy that's the businessman who's trying to make it in business, and you have, there's a third guy. Oh, yeah, well, of course, there's a graffiti artist that wants to, legitimize it as an art form, which, of course, it is, but wants to bring it into popular culture. And I will just end my argument here with Radon Chong is in the movie. That's all you need, right? Not too hard on the eyes there. So, moving on to number 2, Wild Style. Yes, 1983, really raw, really gritty movie in the South Bronx. It's a docudrama about street dancing and the graffiti culture. Almost like, it's essentially a documentary. Follows a lot of the street culture, but it's not like the flashy movies that were BREAKIN and Beat Street and Crush Groove and all the other copies that came out around then. This was some raw stuff. This was the real deal because it was film documentary style, and I mean, it introduced a lot of the world for the first time to the Rocksteady crew, to Fab Five Freddy, and they're featured in all their glory. If you're able to find this movie, you're gonna have a blast watching this movie. It's awesome. So let's of course get to number one. Excuse me, taking a drink of water here, and we are going to get to BREAKIN and BREAKIN 2. Of course, these are the originators of the street dance movies, and it's why I wanted to get Shabba-Doo on the show today, because when you're going to talk street dance movies, you damn well better have Shabba-Doo on the line. It's a tie for me. Both films, it's just like with Step Up 1 and Step Up 2. One is one film, one's the other film. I mean, film number 1, it's an origin story. We all love an origin story. This is, Shabba-Doo and Turbo and Listen to Dickie all getting together and meeting, and, we see the forging of their friendship and a little bit of the, conflict, and they all learn to eventually trust each other, and we're dealing with the clashes of cultures, we're dealing with the clashes of class, and we have then are taken to the next level on BREAKIN 2, where, of course, it's the, let's save the community center plot line that has been used over and over and over. But, I mean, it has the awesome, old, let's put on a show mentality of, the older films, where it's, let's all put on a show, let's have fun, let's do it for a cause. And every film has stolen this, but and this was the originator. This was fun, let's save miracles. And you also have, just incredible dancing. I mean, you have the broom dancing scene. You have Shabba-Doo's work throughout the entire film that's just unforgettable. You have the end battle that's just so astonishing to watch to this day. And I mean, these were moves that have now, been taken to whole new levels. And these were the original times that these were shown. So pretty damn incredible movies. So yeah, I really enjoyed watching these movies, especially because, I mean, they're escapism. They're popcorn movies. You really just can't get enough of seeing people defy gravity, do things with their bodies that go beyond anything that you think the body can do. I might as well just, go off on a tangent here. I really, really, really enjoyed watching. I have a really messed up guilty pleasure with this show called Nitro Circus, and I can finally talk about I can talk about this on the show because yes, they made a movie. It used to be an MTV series, and I'm way into watching extreme sports, and Travis Pastrana, of course, is an incredible dirt biker and has a death wish, just like most. And all extreme sports people do not have a death wish, but Travis Pastrana has a death wish. And if you've watched any of the episodes of the show Nitro Circus, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. This guy, they did platform jumps off of the top of the palms. They would just run, up to the top of the palms, not tell anybody, get the rights to do it later, and just like jump off with parachutes and do a platform jump off of the top of the palms in Vegas, and all of a sudden land in the parking lot, and then jump into a van and just speed off. One of the craziest ass things that Travis Pastrana did was jump out of a plane without a parachute. Yeah, that's kind of normal, right? This guy drinks a Red Bull, doesn't have a parachute on, decides, okay, I'm going to jump out of a plane, and he jumps out with two guys that have parachutes, and all three of them go, but he goes first, and the guys in the parachutes catch up with him, and he free falls probably for a good 10,000, 15,000 feet, and then they, snatch him up and, wrap him up and bring him down, and he lands with some guy wrapped around him with a parachute, and I'm like, wow. I mean, they, in the new movie, they jump stuff across. They're back at the Palms. I think. Yeah, were they back at the Palms? They're back on top of buildings, jumping with a ramp and jumping jumping bikes from one building to another with no nets. They're doing some of the stuff that they did on the show. They take kids like tricycle and ride it up a big hill and then do like a flip and land. Just amazing, crazy stuff. But I can't recommend highly enough Nitro Circus 3D. It is a crazy ass show. Just amazing. And that's why I like these dance movies so much, and it's why later on in the show we're going to have the director and the producers and the cast of Battle B-Boy, and they're attempting something new by taking traditional street dancing and taking it to another level by adding martial arts to it and using it to battle. And I think doing different things with the body is amazing, as I've already said. I think that defying the odds of what the human body can do is pretty amazing. So go and see Nitro Circus 3D. It's pricey with the 3D, but it is so damn worth it. It is just amazing. So I am seeing that we have our first guest on the line. So I'm going to take a short break. Thank you for enjoying my, hopefully you enjoyed my rundown of my top 5 personal favorite dance movies, of course. Always up for debate. As I said in the first episode of the show, I don't do one of those critic shows where my opinion is the right opinion. It's my experience of watching the movies. So hopefully you will start a dialogue about these movies as a result. And if you're of the newer generation and haven't seen movies like Wild Style and Beat Street and haven't even seen the Breakin' movies, hopefully you'll go back and watch them. Speaking of Breakin', you've been waiting a half hour to hear from him, and we've been publicizing this a lot, and I'm really glad that he agreed to come on my show. After the break, we are going to have Shabba-Doo himself on the line to talk about his amazing career and maybe some secret plans he has for the future, and also what he is doing in the present to preserve the street dance culture and also to teach street dancing to the next generation. So we're going to take a short break, and I'm going to play some trailers to get us in the mood. Stay tuned. So welcome back. Hopefully they got you pumped up. We're now going to bring on our guest. I don't want to keep him on hold any longer. On the movie Maniac Airwaves, we're going to bring in on the one, the only legendary choreographer, street dancer, and director, Shabba-Doo Quinones. Everybody remembers him from, of course, the Breakin' movies, but, I mean, this guy has done it all. He has directed his own films. He has worked with Madonna, and he's choreographed many videos. He's been doing this. He's the originator. Let's see if we can get him on the line. Shabba-Doo, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Excellent, excellent. Sorry to keep you on hold for so long.
Yeah, no problem.
Cool. So, you were on the line and heard those trailers. Those trailers take you back or what?
Well, yeah. It takes me back to a magical era in street dance and hip-hop. Back to a time where we had our innocence and we had a lot of hope and we were looking towards the future. So, yeah, it takes me back in a fond way.
But does it, I mean, in your development as a dancer, I mean, so you came from Chicago, and at what age, though, did you realize you were serious about dancing?
Well, you know, I was serious about dancing as far back as about 3 to 5 years old. It wasn't until the industry itself started to take me serious, and that was when I was about 16 or 17 years old.
So, so when you were like 3 or 4, you knew you were going to be a dancer when you grew up. That was your thing.
Oh yes. Some people wanted to be firemen. Some people wanted to be policemen. Some wished to have all types of secular jobs. But even at that early age, I knew that I wanted to be a dancer.
So you said you got serious around 16. So what was the first thing you did that you did seriously in the industry?
Soul Train, 60 nonstop minutes across the tracks of your mind. Soul Train.
Yeah, you were one of the original lockers on that show.
Yeah, I was one of the original Soul Train gang. I actually went on the show where the show was created in Chicago on a UHF channel. And when the show moved from Chicago to Los Angeles, our family subsequently made the move some 6 months later. And then before you know it, I was on Soul Train in Los Angeles. So I was a Soul Train gang original in Chicago and then also in Los Angeles. And at that point, I met up with the other guys, Don Campbell, Campbell Jr., Fluky Luke, Slim the Robot, Tony Basil, and the Fred Berry, known also as Rerun, but we called him Mr. Penguin. So I've met some pretty fabulous guys One other kid that I had the pleasure of meeting back in the days, and he wasn't one of the lockers, but was certainly part of the brotherhood. That was Scooby-Doo, Jimmy Scooby-Doo Foster.
So you meet all these wonderful people, and this movement gets started, and then you and at what point? What was the first you got in? What was the first dance movie you were in?
Actually, the first dance movie I was in, I think.
Was it Xanadu?
As Shabba-Doo. It wasn't Xanadu. Most people think that I appeared in Xanadu, when in fact I didn't appear in Xanadu. My first feature film that I appeared in, I believe, was TGIF, Thank God It's Friday, with Donna Summers.
Okay, I know that movie. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was the first film where I appeared as Shabba-Doo. The first film that I appeared in where I appeared as a dancer was in an animated form, and I appeared with the rest of the lockers in a Ralph Bashke film called Hey Good Looking.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I know that movie well, too. So you weren't in Xanadu?
No. Everybody thinks I was in Xanadu. I wish they would send me the check. Because I'm getting all the notoriety for it. I thought, hey, might as well pay me, too. So.
There you go. I hear you. So, what was the rest of your journey that got you up to the movie BREAKIN?
Oh, geez. God, I mean, I don't know if this show's long enough, but I'll try to give you the Reader's Digest version. It began with my appearance on Soul Train and meeting some wonderfully talented dancers and performers. There were just so many talented dancers on Soul Train. A couple of the other ones of notoriety was Demita Jo Freeman, Pat Davis, my sister Fawn. There was Mod Rod. There was Little Joe Chisholm. There was Tyrone Proctor. So we had a cast of some very talented people. I think also Jeffrey Daniels from Shalimar and Jody Watley. They were all part of the show. So I was part of a very exclusive group of people who were all talented, and that served as a platform for me. When Tony Basil, who was our manager, she's kind of like our Abe Saperstein, if you're familiar with Abe Saperstein. Abe Saperstein having the credit for creating and founding the Harlem Globetrotters. I kind of liken Tony Basil to Abe Saperstein, which so historically, just so you folks out there, the Harlem Globetrotters did not start in New York; they started in Chicago.
That is correct, sir.
For marketing purposes, Abe Saperstein thought to name the Harlem Globetrotters with better marketing. I think he's right. Anyway, Tony Basil was our manager and responsible for forming the group. Having a close relationship with Don Campbell, thought and had the vision that we could, be something significant in the entertainment world. And I was just a kid, and when Tony was putting together the group, as chance or fate has it, I was chosen as one of the last members to be in the group. I was the youngest member as well. I think they wanted my sister Fawn, and I think they even had their eyes on Scooby-Doo at one point. But for whatever reasons, the gods, if you will, felt that it was my turn, and I was ready, and the opportunity presented itself, and here I be. So that whole relationship and journey was followed up after the Lockers. We disbanded, mind you, in 1977, and by then I had been introduced to a group of dancers here in Los Angeles in the gay community. They call them, and I refer to them as the Garbo Boys. Now, the gay community I call these guys the sister act to the street dance movement. Half a dozen gay guys I met. One of them was Andrew, then Tinker. There was Lonnie. There was Billy Starr, Arthur, and some other ones, and Victor Manuel, and also Danny Lugo, and people like that. And I really learned from Andrew and Arthur directly and Tinker, and learned this new style of dance that they were doing in the gay community. And they didn't really refer to it as whacking as the world knows it. They referred to it as punking. They also referred to it as garbo. And if you ask any one of those gay guys what dance they were doing, they would give you different versions. They may say, well, I'm Marlena Dietrich, or I'm Greta Garbo. So each of them had a self-image of who they were in terms of the iconic, female artists in films of the 1920s and 30s and 40s. So I learned this dance from them and kind of infused locking with this dance. And it became known exactly how the term whacking came to be is still a bit of a mystery, but people started to refer to it as whacking. But the world, as the world knows it, saw the version that I created. That was a fusion of that gay dance, let's say punking in this case, with locking, and gave it more of a kind of masculine edge, if you will. And this dance became very, very popular, and I became heavily identified with that dance as a solo dance artist outside of the lockers. Most people, even in those days, referred to whacking as the Shabba-Doo. So as time went on, and the lockers disbanded in 1977, I had been working with Toni Basil with her Mickey hit and some other live shows. Live shows she was doing, experimental shows she was doing in Los Angeles, like at Santa Monica Theater. She did it on Sunset Boulevard.
Just a reference to everybody out there. A lot of people in the new generation, everybody knows Toni Basil just from Oh Mickey, You're So Fine. I mean, she is an extremely accomplished artist. She was amazing. She's worked with everybody from David Bowie to every tour. Yeah.
She's worked with everybody. If people, you young kids out there, if you don't know Toni Basil, do your homework. She was very important in terms of shaping the street dance landscape as we know it. And I think it should be noted, in a male-dominated culture like hip-hop or street dance, it's a woman. It took a woman to make what we enjoy today something that wasn't before. So I think we should take our hat off to her for having to create a vision to see that we could be something more than a group of inner city Black and Hispanic or Latinos dancing in the ghetto. She saw that we could be dancing stars, and as it turns out, she was right.
So what got you into the movie BREAKIN though? So
after dancing with Toni Basil, after being known for my roles, my involvement now creating what I call the world's bisexual street dance form that the world knows as whacking, and now it's been rebranded as Shui style. That led me to a solo career. I started to focus on that. My first really big show out the chute was in Bette Midler's show called Divine Madness. I was called by Kenny Ortega. Kenny Ortega knew of my dancing style and knew of my dance partner at the time, whom I taught how to do the whacking style and partner dancing, and also taught us locking as well, Anna Sanchez from the movie BREAKIN. And he called me and said, hey, we're doing a show on Broadway, and I was telling Bette about you, and she wants to see you. And, that meeting with Bette led to me starring in that show, Divine Madness. And during that show, Steve Allen was sitting in the audience, saw me in the show, said he has a new television series for NBC, and said I would be great for the show. When after our run, we did a short run at the Majestic Theater. I met with Nick Vanoff, one of the executive producers, the late Nick Vanoff, mind you, who was the owner of Sunset Gower Studios, and I met with Brandon Tartikoff, the late Brandon Tartikoff, at the time was the president of NBC. And I was given my own show as the resident dancer, choreographer, And my partner in that was David Winters from the film, one of the stars of the film and Broadway show West Side Story. And we created something the world had never seen before, a blend of contemporary street dance on a regular television series where we do these big production numbers. That kind of fame led me, pushed me down the road, if you will, and then the breakdancing wars, the breakdancing film wars started. I had just finished doing a documentary called Breakin and Entering. I proposed the idea to Topper Carew being the executive producer of the Martin Lawrence show. And but this is prior to that, obviously. He saw the validity of it. We did the definitive West Coast version of the street dance movement in the 70s. In the late 70s and 80s. And after 82, I did that, and again, the breakdance wars come out. I think New World Pictures was doing a picture called Body Rock.
Right.
I had the lead in. I initially had the lead in that picture. I was taken out of that picture and replaced by Lorenzo Lamas. He's a huge television star in Los Angeles. In the United States, and I get a call to choreograph a movie called Breakin. I go to I'll go to the meeting rather, dressed just like it was in the movie. I had the coat, the hat, the whole nine. And Menachem Golan during the meeting says, "Hey, Shabba-Doo, can you act?" And I don't know. I just said, "I'm from Chicago." I don't know what it really meant, but he says, "Okay, Shabba-Doo from Chicago. Why don't you go to casting?" And it was being casted by Pamela Basker and Fern Champion. And I go over there and I auditioned for the role of Ozone. And they had been seeing people. And I read the role. I didn't hear anything. I think the line that I said in the audition was, "Who's next?" I think it was "Who's next?" And I said, "Ozone, street dancer." And it kind of got quiet in the room, and they said, "Oh, well, okay, thank you." And I thought, okay, well, they really didn't like me, so that's okay. I just want to choreograph the movie. And then I got a few blocks away, and they said, "Hey, they really want you for the lead in the picture." And I was later told by the director when he saw that and he met with me that he knew I was the leader of the street dancers, that it was something about my personality, something about my charisma, if you will, something about how I said things with such authority that he knew that he had the top rung of in the street dance world. He later met with Ice-T, and he said Ice-T told him, "If you really want the guy to lead this movie, you won't get Shabba-Doo." And then history was made.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Here's a history note. Poppin' Taco, Anna Sanchez, Little Coco, Boogaloo Shrimp were all part of the Shabba-Doo crew. So they were all in my crew before we did the film. So I used my influence with the director to get those guys the part in the movie. It was when they saw me with Boogaloo Shrimp that they realized they had both of them. They had both the characters. They had Ozone and Turbo. Ozone, me and Boogaloo Shrimp, we had this kind of ongoing gag. We were kind of like Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis, so we always joked. And we just kind of brought that joking personality to the audition, and they were like, "We got them. That's the two guys right there. Their personalities don't change a thing. We want you to be exactly that way." And as it turns out, that film has sealed both me and Boogaloo Shrimp in street dance history forever and made icons out of us.
And it's incredible that those movies still, they're trapped in a time capsule as far as certain styles, but you could still watch those movies and it's still, a great, fun, adventure, and you go along with the characters. Let's talk a little bit about since we're getting a little short on time, the process. So you get on a movie like that, and you're given the assignment. Hey, you're going to be the choreographer on this movie. What's the process you go through as a choreographer with the script and with the dancers? And I mean, do you try and dictate where the film's going, or do you just try and fit what you're doing and try and influence the director? What's your process?
Well, the process is very close, working very closely with the director, but I want to make something very clear here. Once I was given the lead role in BREAKIN, the job as choreographer was given to Jaime Rogers, one of the stars of West Side Story. He actually choreographed the film BREAKIN. I worked very closely with Jaime, and Jaime is a dear friend of mine. So in no way do I want to infringe on his work. He was important for the film. He brought the best out of all of us. I love him dearly. Without him, I couldn't have been the best dancer that I could have been. I just couldn't have done it without Jaime. So Jaime was very important. So the dynamics was the director, of course, relationship with Jaime Rogers and myself, since I had really the experience and more experience than Turbo and the rest of the guys for sure, and was able to collaborate with them on a much deeper level. But it was that dynamic that really made it work. And also the writer. So you have the writer working, the director working, you have Jaime Rogers bringing a tremendous amount of vision and experience to the table. That was the formula for success. So I owe a lot to Jaime.
So we're talking about basically people. I mean, you that movie. Every experience we have when you're making a movie or when you're doing anything, I mean, is an educational process. And this kind of lead me into what you're doing now. You when we had our little talk the other day, you were talking about your on Facebook. You have this Universal Truth. You want to talk about that and the whole preserving the street dance culture. You have a page on Facebook, and also, do you want to bring Karina on the line now? I see that she's on. Yeah, because basically we can talk about how you're wonderfully doing this whole movement to educate future street dancers through, give them the knowledge and give them the experience to do the same thing themselves. So I see her on the line. Let's see if we can get her on. Karina, are you there?
I'm here. Hi.
Hi.
Hello. Hi, Shab. Hi, Greg.
Hello.
I just got to say this. I got to say this, Greg. This thrills me to death to have Karina Best on the phone. I think she exemplifies the new attitude of dancers today, really seeking to be their absolute best. Again, I've used this in terms of Jaime Rogers and also David Winters, whom I love dearly. I love Karina Best. I admire her, and I'm a big fan of her. And I'm looking and have great hopes for her in the UK, leading the way. Again, there you go again. Another woman's going to lead the way in the UK. There you go.
There you go. So Karina, we had a little talk yesterday. Maybe you can tell us how you met Shabba-Doo and how you've come into, as you said, his apprenticeship, if you will.
Well, I actually met Shab about just over a year ago. I met him in May last year. But maybe I'll tell you my journey of whacking leading up to that point. In 2008, I was dancing in a performance group just as a hobby, and this is where I first came across whacking. And I was drawn to whacking because it's a street dance style which allows for femininity in a male-dominated culture. So I began looking for places to learn whacking in the UK, and I found that there wasn't really anyone with a deep understanding of the style here. So then after that, my research led me to realise that whacking was a largely misunderstood style. So I decided that I wanted to I wanted UK dancers to have the opportunity to actually learn the style properly, because I found over in this country here, everything tended to be very watered down in terms of learning specific street styles. So then I embarked on a mission, and I wanted to try and bring education and accurate knowledge of the whacking dance style into this country, and I wanted to be able to boost the dance scene. Because there wasn't any teachers or anything who had a deep knowledge in this country, I ended up having to look further afield. So I started looking outside of the country. And also at that time, it was 4 years ago, there was very little information about the style in the public domain. So if you typed whacking into an internet search, you'd find nothing at all. And then on YouTube, there was probably less than 10 videos, which, said that they were whacking. So that was where my search began, really. I contacted the people who had videos on there and asked where I could learn the dance. And I was directed to a girl over in Paris who was said as the person nearest the UK with some knowledge of the dance. So I ended up travelling over there to do some sessions with her. And I also started hassling a UK dance promoter who's the company called Be Better, to ask them to consider bringing whacking teachers over to the UK, and eventually they did. And then subsequently a whacking group was formed. I was part of the first whacking group in the UK. I stayed with the group for around 18 months, but I was struggling to progress in the style, and I felt like there was something missing. But whoever I came across just didn't seem to be able to answer my questions, and I felt a little bit lost. So I decided to leave the group and focus on setting up my organisation, which is called the Spread Love Dance Project. And that organisation aims to raise the bar in street dance knowledge, education and training for UK dancers and teachers. And at that time, which was January 2011, I was actually on the verge of giving up whacking altogether because I just felt a bit stuck. And then in May 2011, that was Shabba-Doo was brought over to the UK by a man named Omar Paloma. He runs a company called iDance, and he brought Shab over to judge a big dance competition. And then when I heard he was coming, I contacted him via Facebook and asked him if he'd meet me for lunch, because I just thought that he'd be able to answer my questions. I thought he'd have the missing bits of information, and he agreed. Myself and a friend called Dee Dee went to meet him, and he spoke to us for about 3 hours and literally cleared up all of our confusion just like that. So, I've spent a good couple of years or longer, 2.5 years, going along this journey, trying to find things out, and then he managed to clear it all up for me in 3 hours. So I ended up doing some sessions with him, and that was when I was introduced to Shui style. And in the first session, I just fell in love with the dance. It was like I knew that this was the one. I was like, this is the one that I want to do. It was just so much fun, and it was very different to what I'd learned previously. And in those lessons, he taught me about dancing. The lessons that he taught me about dancing were so precious. It felt like I'd had a glimpse of what it truly takes to be great at what you do. So he was answering a lot of questions for me. It was like millions of light bulbs going on one after the other. And then that basically was the catalyst to me travelling over to train with him. So after that, I became his apprentice, and I started focusing primarily on Shui style, which resulted me moving to Los Angeles in May this year to train intensively with him. And we trained 5 days per week for 3 months, and I learned the basics of the complete repertoire of Shui style and Shui theory, and that's where we are now. This is it. So I'm back in London now.
I want to interject.
It was an amazing experience.
Greg, I want to interject, just a bit of history. Karina certification is the first of its kind. There isn't another street dance form nor street dancer out there that has an actual street dance certification. Yeah, you got people who go to workshops and maybe they might participate here and there, but this was a comprehensive program that was taught to Karina over a 12-week period. It was very intense. It was physically,
it was very intense,
hugely demanding. So Karina is the first of its kind. She's the first certified street dancer in the world.
That's incredible.
Yeah. You know, I tell you, and I want to, close that section with this. My goal is to be this generation's Arthur Murray, the Arthur Murray of street dance. I will have certified instructors that I equipped on every level all over the world.
Yeah.
Before it's been done.
And that's really important. And Shab's my Jaime Rogers.
Yeah, and I'm your Jaime Rogers. There you go.
Yeah. Shab's my Jaime Rogers, yeah.
So Shabba-Doo, tell me how where people can go to contact you, or where would you like to send people to further so you can further educate them on what you're trying to do?
I'm currently getting my website constructed, but in the interim, you can get some information regarding the instructor program on my Facebook page. That's the Shabba-Doo, Ozone Shabba-Doo page. I would send all information to Candace Lake, and her email address is Candace, CANDACE, lakeliterary.com for all information regarding my instructor program. I will be in the UK this October through January 2013, teaching, instructing, and certifying some more young ladies there.
Yeah.
So there will be
and
basically.
That's really exciting.
Yeah. So Karina won't be alone there. She'll have some stable mates, but. And you can feel free to contact Karina Best on Facebook. She can point you in the right direction.
That's excellent. I mean, I think this is fantastic what you're doing. I think when I was talking on the phone yesterday, it drives me crazy when you have somebody that has so much experience and so much knowledge, and then they hold it all to themselves and they just make money with it, and they're just worried about, developing their own business, whereas you want to pass it on to the next generation. I really want to commend you for that, and it's great that Karina is, an example of the next step you want to take in your life journey. So I just wanted to, thank you for that.
Well, yeah, and you're welcome, Greg. I also want to add to that. One of the goals of my Shrey program, my instructor program, and I've often told this to my students, and Karina knows this as well. The goal is not to master a dance form. That's what differentiates my program and my instruction from others. The goal is not to master it. The goal is not to garner more students. Mm-hmm. My goal is to create a new generation of legends. My goal is to create creators. So when you think about mastering a program, you think about an ending. There's an ending to that. I'm saying no, it should never be an ending. What I do is I empower young people to be creators, and as creators, and only as creators, are we emulating God, who says that we were created in His image. That means that we are creators, and creation is perpetual. It is ongoing. It is never ending. Yeah. So Karina, in my mind, is on the path to being a creator, not a master of this form. Don't be a master of your form, people. Be a creator of your form, and then you'll move forward, and you'll be standing shoulder to shoulder with the rest of us.
But then that's why it's so important for people to actually learn the complete repertoire of their style, so that they can then take it to another level.
And you can only do that if a dance is codified, and
I think people worry about that. I know in the street dance world, people worry about the idea of codifying something because they think it's going to take away the idea of the freedom of expression. But having trained with Shab, I'd say that it's the exact opposite of that, and it actually has opened up it's opened up my mind and my opportunity and things that I'll be able to do creatively. And it's like, I feel like there is no limit really now. I think that people are scared that codification means dogma, but it really doesn't. It really doesn't.
Yeah. Young people out there, listen to what Karina's saying, and I want you to hear this loud and clear. Rules set you free. They do not inhibit you. It allows us to move forward with knowledge. Gives us that power. If you don't have knowledge, if you don't have an accurate understanding of history, of technique, you are not empowered. You're actually a slave to not knowing. So when you know something, let's face it, every day we depend on rules, don't we? When we stop at a red light, we hope that the person is going to stop at the red light too. It doesn't inhibit us. It gives us a measure of freedom because we know that we're hoping at least that they will obey the laws. There are rules for everything.
I couldn't agree with you more. I do stand-up and I do improv, and everybody jokes when I say we're going to go practice improv, and they go, but improv is supposed to be improv. I go, no, if you don't follow certain rules in improv, you're going to see the worst improv show you ever saw in your life.
Yeah, and that's what you'd say about dancing as well. It's like when you're learning a form, when you're learning an art form, that you have to learn it so well that when you dance it, it comes off as if it was natural behavior.
Right. Indeed. Well, I want to thank you both for coming on. We're at the halfway point of the show. I want to thank you for calling all the way from across the pond, Karina.
Thank you for having me.
And taking the time. It's my pleasure. And Shabba-Doo, thank you for giving us some insight into your career and your process and where your influences have come from. And would you be willing to hopefully stay on the line past the break? Because we're going to have people from a movie called Battle B-Boy that are trying to do a new form of movie where they're taking martial arts and putting them with dancing. Would you be willing to hold on for that?
Absolutely, and I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, great. All right, we're going to take a break, everybody, and we'll be right back after the break with the cast and some of the producers and the directors of Battle B-Boy. Again, thank you, Karina. Thank you, Shabba-Doo, for everything, and Greg Reifsteck's Movie Maniac show for the second hour. In our first hour, you missed an incredible interview with Shabba-Doo Quinones. You missed an incredible experience that it's a good thing that we tape these shows. You can replay this show anytime you want by going to BlogTalkRadio and rerunning the show. It always is streaming 24/7. You can get more information on how to do that on my Facebook page. Just type in Facebook, Greg Reifsteck, Movie Maniac. I'm the only Movie Maniac, Greg Reifsteck, on Facebook. Or you can catch me on the Twitter and find me on there as well at Movie Maniac Greg. So the reason we had Shabba-Doo on is we are doing a street dance movie-themed show today, and we are moving on to the next segment where there's a new street dance film that has come my way. And basically, it's a movie, Battle B-Boy, that is mixing the styles of street dance and trying to add martial arts to it. It's being called Defy Dance Fighting. And we have some of the producers. We have some of the cast on. I'm going to check on the line here and see who we have first. I believe we have Frank and Jeff on the line here. Let me see where they're at. Please bear with me. Hello, you're on the air.
Hi, Greg. Hi, Shabba-Doo. This is Frank. Hey, guys, it's Jeff.
Hi, let me. We're going to talk a minute before we bring Shabba-Doo on first. So both of you guys are on the line, and you guys want to introduce yourselves and what roles you play in the creation of this film.
Sure. My name is Frank Lin, and I'm the writer-director of Battle B-Boy.
And then my name is Jeff Lamb, and I'm the producer of Battle B-Boy.
So I gave a little bit of what the general what the film's about, but maybe you can give us a little bit more about the process of how this film came together and why you wanted to meld these two art forms together, and how this is and where we can find it.
Sure. Let me just give you a little information about the movie. It's sort of a new spin on an old martial arts dance film storyline. And Battle B-Boy is really about a group of very talented but very poor young dancers who need about $85,000 to pay for their friend's father's heart surgery. So they had to join an underground martial art tournament in the streets of Los Angeles, and that uses hip-hop music and breakdancing in hand-to-hand combat situation. You mentioned a little bit. But these guys are new, and they're underdogs. They really don't know what they're doing. So they have to work with this sort of unsavory Mr. Miyagi-type character, a master Sifu, and train and learn the ropes. And then, ultimately compete in this competition to win the money. As they're doing this thing, they got to put their egos on the side and learn to work as a team. And then ultimately they learn that they're not just fighting for a better future or for money. They're really fighting for their friends who are really their family. So that's what the movie's about.
And where can we find this movie? Where you want to plug where we can find it?
You can actually find it on iTunes August 17th and all other outlets everywhere else. Amazon, Hulu Plus, Netflix, Redbox, Blockbuster. It's going to be all over everywhere, actually. And yeah, everywhere you turn, it's going to be there.
So this is coming out on DVD as well?
Yes, it is.
Awesome. You guys got the bases covered. So let's bring Shabba-Doo back on the line. Shabba-Doo, you there?
Yes, I am.
Thank you for hanging on and giving us more of your time. We really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure.
So I sent you a copy of the movie, and you watched it, and maybe you want to tell these filmmakers, after all of their efforts, what somebody of your stature in the street dance community and being a choreographer, and as long as you've been, maybe give a little critique of the film, if you will.
Well, first of all, I want to say hello to you guys. Hi, Frank. Hi, Jeff.
Hi, Shabba-Doo.
Hi, Shabba-Doo. It's Jeff. Great to meet you, man.
Yeah, it's a real honor.
It's a pleasure to meet you guys as well. And let me weigh in for a Battle B-Boy. One thing I want to do, and I want to start this off with, I commend you guys for doing something that is different, and we so much need for all kinds of approaches. We're all tired of the contest. Who's going to win the contest? Or I think I'm better than you. All those kinds of movies that have basically dehumanized the street dancer. And so when I saw Battle B-Boy, I found it to be refreshing in that regard. I mean, here it is. You took two distinctly different genres, putting them together and creating something that may not resonate initially with a wide audience, and it very well might. But I think there's going to be a core audience of people that are going to find it very interesting, as I did, and be inspired by it. So I think in the overall of the picture, I think that you scored big on that side. It's easy. You could always look at a picture and try to find ways to make it better. Of course, we all strive to be better. But as a filmmaker myself, I realize that you may have certain budgetary constraints. You may have, You know, you have a young cast with little or no experience in terms of acting. But I thought, as a director, I thought you got some performances out of them. I thought the enthusiasm that resonated was there. I also felt, more than a few of them, that they had a level of charisma that I think resonated as well. So in that way, hey, bravo.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, I really, a lot of it is collaborating with the dancers, because they come in and they have so much personality, and even in the script writing phase, we just sort of look at what we have access to, where we can go to shoot this film independently, but also at the same time, we write the roles around their personality, and some of them are so charismatic. I just felt like we had to put that in the movie.
Let me bring on John Kreng, who did some of the fight choreography, and I also want to bring on one of the other producers and the director of photography, Jason, if I could. John, are you there?
Yeah. Yes, I'm here. Hey.
And Jason, are you there?
Yes, I'm right here too.
Okay.
Meet everyone.
Okay, great. I just wanted to make sure everybody was able to listen in on this. So did anybody so Shabba-Doo, what did you think of the fighting in the movie?
The fight sequences, I was kind of fascinated by it. Because so they're doing windmills and kicks and things. So the interesting part was, for me, the scene quite natural. The scene quite natural was the B-boy martial arts hybrid. I saw where he was going with the martial arts choreography, taking some of the popping and cutting and stuff. It was like, when I saw that, I was like, shades of Shaolin tempo, so. I tell you, that part, taking the touch and all that stuff, I thought that was kind of fun for me. But if you had some more money, it'd have been nice to do some of the fantasy things that you see in like Crouching Tiger and stuff. You could have took it to another level.
Yeah, if you had the money, we would. I would have loved to have done that.
Could you imagine, instead of running over the, kind of Chinese, homes and stuff, they were running over project homes and things like that. But
that's awesome. Yeah, actually, we wanted to do one on the rooftop, but we realized it would be too dangerous to actually do it on the rooftop.
Well, what would have been kind of cool is they would have had to do, a series of martial arts moves and acrobatics, and then instead of running up a tree, he would have to run up a telephone pole or something.
Jotting notes.
I think one of the amazing scenes that we were really inspired by too was Shabba-Doo was your scene, fighting electro rock and stuff like that. We wanted to, pay homage to a lot of stuff you did as well and stuff. So oh yeah. When we all sat down and talked with John Kreng, and he knows the history too as well. It was very, great to be able to communicate that, and we really wanted to pay homage to that to you too as well. Oh, definitely, yeah. We wanted to have that line, speak to your films.
You know what's really cool is I'm glad you guys recognize that, because I'm a martial artist as well, like Taekwondo. But
oh, cool.
Yeah, but what I loved about it is, and I love martial arts films and kung fu films and Shaolin films and all that stuff. I'm glad that you recognize that, because in the battle scene in BREAKIN 2, that was my idea to do dance battle. With the trash can lids, and you saw some kids with nunchucks and things like that. So. But we didn't quite incorporate martial arts as successfully as I had hoped into the dance piece, as well as you did. I think in your martial arts choreography, you were able to integrate martial arts, I think, a little bit better than we were able to. It seemed a little separate. And in those days when we did it, it came off some people are like, yeah, right, martial arts and street dance. How does that work? Well, we got Battle B-Boy, okay?
No, well, that's one of our inspiration too. Is exactly that fight. I remember the nunchucks, and then you on top of the car, on 101, and then just everybody. It's just and there's like this huge, beautiful moment when everybody is in motion, and it looks like a huge army battling each other, but at the same time, it's dance and it's beautiful and it's choreographed to the rhythm, the beat, and it was so inspirational to see that, and we try to capture that, but we don't have the kind of the enough people, but I think we really try to capture that feeling of all this motion, and there's an art to the dance and to the to martial arts as well as to dance.
Yeah. I think you were successful at it.
What kind of a budget was on this film, Frank and Jeff? What were you dealing with, if you wouldn't mind saying?
It wasn't. This is Jeff. It wasn't a studio budget, but it was
funded by our parents. It was funded by Jeff's mom and my mom, and then we got two friends, Brian
Roberts, the other producer, and
a Chinese computer scientist I know down in Orange County. So it's just like we're waiting for a check to come in, and so we can feed people, and it was amazing though. The dancers and everybody who came in, they did it because they love what they do. So that was one of the things I felt like the whole movie was made of their passion. It's only supported by the passion. We provided insurance so that the dancers, feel safe doing what they do, and then we also fed them really well, thanks to Jeff, and that's where it sort of drove the whole movie.
Wow, that's really something. Did I just hear you say that Jeff's mom gave you some money?
It was my mom, Frank's mom, and my friend Brian. He was the producer, so it was a accumulation of a lot of people. But me and Frank actually come from bigger budget movies, and we know how to do everything. So we pretty much pulled every string that we knew in Hollywood with locations.
You know what? We need to put a real big shout out to your mamas for that.
It's a family project.
You know what? Your moms. Wow, thank God for moms who believe in their children. I mean, you're a grown men who got behind you. God bless you. You have these kind of mothers that says, not only, because it's wonderful to really believe in your kid and all that, but actually bend their elbow and put some money down. Wow, that's big. Wow. Yeah. And this is the done. Your parents were able to do that, and look, you were able to now share and create an experience for these young people in your film that they're going to remember for the rest of their lives. That's beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah. I do have to thank, also in terms of our parents, and then John came in and, put his heart into it, and then Jason came in too, and, Jason and I have been in film school together, and so Jason came in and brought in all his equipment and made it look amazing, with no financial helping, with just by himself.
Wow.
Well, also with a really good crew.
That's incredible. What film school did you guys go to, if I may ask?
We went to UCLA.
UCLA, and I graduated from AFI.
Oh, okay.
Beautiful school. We actually have a lot of good friends at AFI as well.
Okay. I graduated as a directing fellow.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, we just graduated in undergrad filmmaking. So we kind of had too big of a head thinking that we're going to be making big films right away, but I didn't have the opportunity to specialize in directing. I really respect people who come out of that program, actually.
Wow, great.
Let's bring on some of the we have some of the talent on the line. Shabba-Doo, are you okay for time? Do you want to stick around, or do we need to let you go?
No, I'm hanging around with these guys. These guys are cool.
Sounds good to me, man. I'm just checking in with you, man. Awesome. Let's get, I believe this is Josh on the line. Josh, are you there?
Hello?
Hello, Josh?
Hello?
Hello, Josh. Josh, are you there?
hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. You're on.
That's because I'm using Verizon.
And then we got Ricky Cole here. Ricky, are you on the line?
Hello.
Hi, Ricky.
How's it going, guys?
Hi. Sounds like you're waiting to catch a plane.
I'm in the car.
And is Richie on the? Anybody know? Is he on the 2706 number here? Let's see. Hello,
Yep.
Richie.
He's on. Hey, how's it going?
Okay, so we have if you guys, Ricky, if you want to go first, tell us what you did in the movie.
Oh, I didn't know if you said Richie or Ricky. Yeah,
I know, right?
I play the role of Jay.
Pretty
much, he's the big guy. Powerhouse, pretty much a lot of power and power within his moves, and a b-boy background jumping into this scene with his brothers.
Cool, Richie, and that was Ricky. Richie, Go on.
Hey, how's it going? It's Richie. I played Richie, so it was really easy for my character to remember his name. But yeah, I was a b-boy background in it, and I mean, as far as my character, he was kind of he was just always down for his friends. Kind of had a hard life at home, so I don't know if I want to give anything else away. You tell me, Frank.
No, I think your actually character was sort of inspired by Turbo too. Like we want to do that sort of a comedic guy who has a lot of heart and helps his friends. So that's
the comedy relief, if you will.
Yeah.
All right. Exactly.
Ricky, didn't we try to imitate some of Jim Kelly's moves from Black Belt Jones and Three the Hard Way? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All the stuff I love.
Paying homage. I love it. Josh,
all we were missing was the afro. I know. I was working on it.
That's for the sequel.
Josh, tell us what you did in the movie, Josh.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so I'm on one of the enemy crews, the Exterminators, and I believe it's a semifinal battle where I'm like the leader of the Exterminators, and I have a very robotic character. That's my main style in this movie, is just robot, and all of my crew does popping, robot, animation, waving, and that's the style that we use against Richie and Ricky.
You're the guy featured.
We try to win.
Josh, you're the guy featured at the end of the trailer, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
My chin is made of steel.
Yeah. It's funny when I first met you guys. When I met you, Dennis, Marie, and then we just started talking, and your guys' philosophy was just so awesome because you guys had that old school philosophy about dance, and I was thinking, you know what? Five Venom. Let's give you guys all like a traditional kung fu background. Yeah, that's how we put it together.
Shabba-Doo, do you have anything you want to say to the actors at all?
Other than I thought again, I just echo what I said earlier. I thought you guys' enthusiasm really shined in the movie. And, not to mention, and I think you were there, you delivered on the dancing was successful.
Thank you.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Yeah, huge honor for me.
It was a lot of fun to watching the mixture of b-boying or the mixture of popping and so forth with martial arts. I hadn't really seen it to that degree before. I think now that you've done it first, I guess everybody was like really well.
Yeah.
They'll come and do the same thing with a $20 million budget.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, I like the sound of that.
Shoot, you guys could give me a role in the movie then too.
Yeah, maybe I'll be in the movie at that point. No.
Exactly.
There we go.
In Shabba-Doo, they're doing a $20 million battle street dance movie. You want to be in it? I couldn't say yes fast enough.
Yeah. You were telling me on the phone, Shabba-Doo, and we didn't get to touch on it in your segment. We might as well bring it up now. You're trying to develop another BREAKIN movie.
Actually, Yeah. Actually, I've written a screenplay, which will be a third BREAKIN film. Really screenplay, and right now just put together the financing package and sent it off to a couple of studios that are interested. Met with MGM and some other high-profile production companies that I want to make with. We're making some headway. So I think it's time now to do another BREAKIN film. The world is waiting for it.
Indeed.
That'd be awesome.
Indeed.
Maybe we can get Jeff and some of his friends and their mothers to give us some money to make it.
There you go. How deep are their pockets? There we go.
And then you can bring all that good food you were bragging about on the set.
Oh yeah, that was good for sure.
Yeah. Hey Josh, was that food good on the set or what?
Oh man, they took care of our stomach, absolutely.
Oh my God! See, all you have to do is offer me an In-N-Out burger and some fries and a cake, and I'm done.
A double?
There you go.
Double, and I'm eating. I'm in over my head.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So Frank and Jeff, you have anything else you want to say about the movie before we shut this down?
Well, no, we are just, one thing that I wanted to mention early on, just also learning a lot about breakers and, all the hip-hop dancers, is that they put in so much of their energy into dancing. I remember, like, when we first did my first take, we had to sort of, when we cut, we had to really, like, scream and tell everybody, because once the music is pumping and it's in their blood, and, they're just so passionate. They put more into everything, and that's what's in the movie. And, if anything that makes it successful is all their energy,
Mm-hmm.
And I can't describe that. I mean, it's just I've done other films with a lot of actors in terms of doing horror and comedy, and they're really great. But it's like working with dancers who who move and who have to go out and put their body on the line, like the way you guys did. That I mean, that's why I love dance movies. When you see them, it's 110%. Respect.
Hey, this is Josh. I just want to add to that. The thing that's really cool about this movie, in my opinion, is there's a little comedy and there's obviously the mix of martial arts and street dance. And I feel like at this point, 2012, it's sort of a necessary connection, relationship, or fusion. If you look at the popularity of tricking now, martial arts trickers, and then you look at what they do it to, they try to trick and do martial arts on the beat. And all of us, the street dancers, we try to sort of take bits and pieces, whether it's a gainer or kicks or b-boying moves in locking or a ground move and popping. We're kind of all using each other's styles to make our own individual style grow. And I feel like it's a necessary fusion. It makes the movie, it sort of makes for a better movie and premise. And then if you look at what John and I were discussing, just as far as like the exterminators and our crew, John liked the fact that what he was saying, our old school discipline is because we train like we're martial artists. We train like Olympic athletes. Like street dancers really don't get enough credit for that, unfortunately. It's getting better, but the training that goes into it, it's like you sacrifice just like any other athlete. You train and train and train and train and train, or a martial artist. And I think that it's cool to have that fusion in this movie. It kind of shows that and presents that to the world. So I'm excited about it.
It's like deep down, it's the same discipline.
It's really is, yeah.
Yeah, it is the same discipline. I mean, it is about. But the thing is what I appreciated about working with you guys was that, you guys knew how to adapt and adjust so quickly. When I just make these little adjustments that we needed to have for camera, you guys just did it right away. So you guys completely understood where I was coming from, and it's that synergy that we all had. And I think it was everybody in this crew, on the cast and crew. We were all on the same level as understanding of what we needed to do, and it's just like it's a bond that I have with you guys that I think will never break. It was like family, definitely. We were just like,
oh, definitely.
You felt that vibe, definitely.
That was like after we wrapped, I had to like text Frank and ask him, like, I don't know what to do anymore. You got to direct me.
Frank.
I miss everyone.
Frank, tell us. Give the big pitch here. Why do I want to see your movie? Give me the big pitch as a director.
Well, it's something that we've seen parts of in different worlds. In the dance world, in the martial art world, and this is the first time we get to see both of them together. And there's something amazing, and there's something fun. There's something for everybody. There's characters from all backgrounds coming together to do something they've been, and it will be fun and exciting, and you get to see something you haven't seen before.
Cool. Let's go right down the line. Jeff, give me why. Tell me why I should see this movie.
This is like my version, as I produced this movie, of a 90s movie in the updated dance world that we have now. This is everything that I grew up with, that I love, with the best of both current and past. So go watch this movie. This is like the best dance movie from independent filmmakers and fighting and all that stuff.
John, you go. Tell me. Same thing.
Okay. All right. Well, as a stunt coordinator and the fight choreographer, and one as a supporting lead, I think it's because you get to see, definitely you see two disciplines put together like never before. I mean, it's something that you've never witnessed before. You get to see dance fight, and it's something that could be controversial or groundbreaking.
Tell me more about your character too. We didn't really touch on that. What was your character?
The character I played was Jimmy. I was kind of like this gambler, rogue, yet Mr. Miyagi. It was kind of like this multifaceted thing. I remember when Jeff and Frank pitched me the idea about it, and I went, really? I got to see this to believe this, and I was kind of cynical at first. And then they started talking more about it, and I knew right away when they first told me that they wanted to do. First thing I thought about was BREAKIN 2. That the nutcracker thing, and I was like going, oh my God, are you kidding me? Really? We can, and I knew I wanted to take that far. I wanted to, from my experience as a martial artist and a fight choreographer, I wanted to take it far as I could beyond, what everybody else has tried to do with it, and I was like, oh man, they were a little off here, a little off here. If I ever had a chance to do that, I'd do it. And I was talking with my friend Jeff Amata about it. We were both kind of fantasizing. Yeah, that'd be really cool if we could do that. And then 2 weeks later, here's Jeff and Frank tell me what they want to do. I'm like, going, is this a deja vu, a dream, or what? So that's how that all happened. And then as I told them the fight culture, they started saying, well, why don't you play this guy Jimmy? I'm like, okay. So that's how that all happened. And, it's just, okay.
Yeah, you're definitely the shady mentor. Part shady, part mentor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Han Solo with Obi-Wan Kenobi or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, you're Han Solo with Obi-Wan Kenobi. I love that. All right, actors.
Hey, wait. Can I say something real quick? Shabba-Doo, are you still on the line?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. So,
go for it.
I'd rather meet you in person, but this is a cool opportunity just to say hi, and thank you for all that you've contributed to Street Champs. I am heavily influenced by the original Lockers, and most people know you from probably your movies, but I know you as an original Locker, and locking was the first style I learned after I just studied b-boying and like New Jack Swing for a long time, and then I came out here and learned from some original Lockers, and I have never met you. I've met everyone except Rerun, may rest in peace, but it's just, anyways, it's a pleasure for me to say that to you over the phone, that you really influenced so many people, so thank you.
That's really nice of you, and you're most very welcome, and if you ever get a chance, come to the Performing Arts Center. I have an artist in residence actually there, and you're more than welcome to join my class tonight. Come down and jam with us on the 7932 Haskell Avenue, Van Nuys, California, 91406. The week Saturday, 12 to 2:30.
Yeah, because I can't really hear too well. I didn't. Well, I'll have to get the information.
Yeah, Greg can pass the information on to all you guys. But thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Any other?
Yeah, Shabba-Doo, thank you. You know, you're an inspiration to me too as a kid. Yeah, I was growing up watching your movies too. Just thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we have a lot of background noise from somebody.
Greg, I had a quick pitch for the film. You didn't ask me. My pitch would be: if you love dance, you love martial arts, you get involved in Battle B-Boy. That's it right there. Yeah, my short pitch is this. And I'm going to take a page out of my mother's book. And I would ask her, why can't I go to a particular place? And she said, I couldn't. She said, because I said so. I'm taking a page out of my mother's book. You should go see Battle B-Boy, because I said so.
Wow. Wow, that should be on the DVD cover.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Shabba, you see, I was saving you the best for last, so you followed my you did it before I could even introduce you. I appreciate it. Well,
hey, you guys are a blast, and I wish you all success in the world with your film.
Well,
Thank you. You're an inspiration.
I think that's the best place to end, guys. You always end on top. So I want to thank you again, Shabba-Doo, for joining us and staying on the line and giving some of your knowledge on to these filmmakers and actors. And thank you for also the interview segment you did beforehand. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Again, I wish you guys tremendous success on your film.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks, man. Thanks so much. It means a lot coming from you.
Yeah.
Cool. Alrighty. Well,
I'm out.
Thank you everybody for being on, and I think we'll end it right here, guys.
Yeah, cool.
Appreciate everybody.
Thank you
for having us on.
Appreciate everybody being on, and as I've already said, everybody can listen in to the show on repeat. You can go to listen to us again on Blog Talk Radio, and next week we are going to be doing some other movies. We're going to be talking about Hit and Run, the directorial debut of Dax Shepard with Kristen Bell and Tom Arnold, and we're also going to talk about The Expendables, the big action film that we have coming up next week with all of your favorite 80s and 90s action stars. Sorry, just wanted to get the background noise out of the way there. I didn't mean to cut everybody off, but somebody was feeding back. So thanks again, everybody, for being on the line, and I really appreciate everybody's time. And next week we will have another show, and you can also, again, follow me on my Facebook at Greg Reifsteck Movie Maniac and Twitter at Movie Maniac Greg. Have a great week. See some movies. See Battle B-Boy. And go back and watch some dance movies. Go watch some BREAKIN movies. Oh, and by the way, Battle B-Boy, you can go to www.battlebboy.com. You can go to facebook.com/BattleBboy, the movie. You can go to twitter.com/BattleBboy, and on YouTube, it's at youtube.com/TheBattleBboy. And I will be posting the information that Shabba-Doo gave me about his program on my Facebook page. So go to my Facebook page, like it, and we will give you the information. Thank you once again for joining me, and have a great week.
Blog Talk Radio, where millions of hosts and listeners gather.